Now on to part 5 of our webinar, questions and answers on how do your loyalty initiatives attract the wrong crowd.
So with that, I think we'll open it up, turn it back over to Mike to see if any questions may have come in during the session.
There
Mike?
have been some that have been filtering through, Vicki, so I just kind of organize them here. Here's a first one from Debbie. You mentioned earlier in your discussion something about a client that had unnecessarily spent $20 million, and she wanted to understand why you said it was unnecessary.
Oh, very good question, Debbie. Thank you. It was unnecessary because the way this client was promoting its loyalty program. So here's what they did is as you signed up for the loyalty card, you got a 20% discount right there on the spot. It was being promoted at POS. So they were sending spiffs to the cashiers that said, hey, the more people you sign up, the more dollars you're going to make. What they were doing is they were promoting it to customers with large shopping carts. So back to my Target example, I had already committed to buying that amount of merchandise, right? So with no discount at all. I was gonna spend those dollars, walked in the store, picked out everything I wanted, and had it on the conveyor belt ready to outlay some cash. To hear that I can outlay 20% less cash meant that you weren't motivating any behavior other than getting me to sign up. So if we go back to Mr. and Mrs. One-Timer example, that's exactly what they were doing is they were promoting their program to customers that had already committed to spending a large amount of dollars in their store. They gave away those discounts unnecessarily because those customers never returned. Now you may say, hey, how do you know they're never going to return? You don't. But if you structure the program so that if they sign up at the register and they get that 20% off for that next visit, right? You send them the card or you email them the link or whatever to get them to come back. Now you've given these customers a reason to come back into the store, and you're spending your margin dollars on driving that incremental visit. But that $20 million in discounts they gave, that was just dollars that customers had already committed to giving them, and they said, nah, that's okay, well, you know, it's on us this time. So it was very, very dangerous for their business. And on top of that, they were paying the cashier $2 each for that. So their losses were huge when we actually did that analysis.
All right, Vicki, I got another question for you here. Ed asks, are you against rewards or point programs based on the discussion? When are they or are they ever the right answer?
Very good question, Ed. Rewards programs, I'm a strong proponent of those because rewards programs can stimulate specific behavior. I was working with a client that I had mentioned. It was a specialty retailer, international specialty retailer, that had points programs that was just for business as usual. So you got to accumulate points and then they would give you a payout no matter how long it took. But one of the problems that we found with that, or we found multiple problems with that model, was that it took too long for customers to earn a reward. And they got bored and they just walked away. We had so many, abandoned points that were out there. It was unbelievable. So customers were getting bored because it took too long. And then you have that flip side with if it takes too short of amount of time to get into a reward, it becomes too costly to sustain over the long term. So rewards programs are great when they're used with to drive incremental behavior. So I need to steer behavior into private brand purchasing. Back to my Kohl's discount. Here, Vicki, here's 20% off, 30% off for shopping in Sonoma or apartment 9. Right? Now you're steering it into specific behaviors that you need where you have some margin dollars to deal with, or here's double points if you shop in this particular area. And the second thing is that points programs need to be that optimal mix. You need to find the mix of short-term rewards so that there's something in it for the customer, right? And blending that with long-term rewards so that they have something to work towards. So you want to keep their interest, keep them from getting bored, but you don't want to give away the store at the same time.